going to do surveys. We're going to hire one of these companies that does surveys for us. We're going to use that data, and we're going to compare it against how our wages are now, and we're going to say, hey, how do we, stack up against the market? Is there a justifiable variance between what we pay and what the market rates are? Okay, you could do some kind of a formula based on prices to set rates relative to outside factors. I would caution you against that. It's a good, rule of thumb or maybe a sanity check, but I don't think it would be wise to try to make it all work out in a formula, or tell your employees that here's the formula on which we're going to base how we pay you. There's too many factors that can come into play and that you need to take into account as you go through ups and downs of markets. Okay, you can do job evaluation plans, set rates relative to other occupations, pay by performance, according to the actual work completed by groups or individuals. Those are all traditional ways that we establish compensation. Okay, again, your reactive criteria is not systematic. It's based on immediate need to pay raise. Okay, this guy comes in, he's got an offer from another company. Do we want to keep him? Do we want to match the offer? How do we want to handle it? It's reactive, right? Things that can cause problems over time. People in the same firm do the same work for different pay. So if you're reactive, right, you're not staying ahead of the curve, you're not being proactive and setting these things in advance, that puts you in a position where you are competitive, okay? So so-and-so gets an offer and he gets a pay raise, so what does that say to all the other folks around? Oh, so that's the way we win around here, is we go get an offer, right? We bring it in, and then we get our pay raise, right? You see what you're doing? You're rewarding something while hoping for something else, right? Okay, well, a range of compensation for a given job category. Okay, again, you say, okay, well, it's going to be somewhere between here and here, but it's going to depend on what factors. Okay, remember, people are very attuned to how to play the game and win according to your rules. You set the rules, right? Well, you think you do, but you can't set the consequences, right? You can do what you decide to do with your own employees, as long as it's not illegal. But what you can't do is pick the consequences, right? Those are going to naturally flow according to what the market does and what you're able to do in the future and what these people do in response to what you do. Okay, performance rankings. Again, people are going to focus on what you measure. You decide on a performance evaluation, right? People are inclined to work to that performance evaluation. You got to make sure that that's what you want, because you're rewarding that, right? You can't reward something and hope something else is going to happen. These become very strong rewards in how you compensate people. Okay. Okay, well, we don't have time to talk about that much more anyway. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a look at this article, okay? I thought this was very insightful. References given there. It's another professor who did a couple hundred interviews and came up with some, I think, some striking conclusions here about what millennials want and how to retain some of the more productive, innovative, the real performers in a company. Okay, it says, for example, and millennials don't care about the length of their tenure near as much as they do of the intensity of on-the-job learning and growth. They want to shoulder increasing amounts of responsibility to progress quickly with leaders and colleagues that can push them onward and help them grow. And they want an inspiring vision that helps them motivate them to work hard and excel. Okay, does that fit your description? I hope so. Stunningly, these bosses, that is the super bosses that he's trying to promote here, all treated their employees the way millennials wanted to be treated, offering them personal and customized coaching, tremendous advancement opportunities, creating freedom, collaborative learning opportunities, and ultimately the chance to do meaningful work. Ambitious employees want to have a chance to make a difference, and super bosses allow them to do just that. Okay? So they're not just going out and saying, hey, we can, it's easy, we'll just give everybody a 10% pay raise, right? And then a few years down the road, everybody knows that when the economy starts going down, all the people that got the pay raises are out, and we got new ones in, right? Okay? People get a pretty good handle on that sort of thing, right? And they decide, oh, okay, so how am I going to deal with that? And you begin to get what you didn't want because you did your job thinking that it was that easy. Well, it's not that easy. Okay? So anyway, there's some real good examples of super bosses and so forth. So what I want you to do is I want you to get together in your groups, if you will, similarly to how we've done before, and I want you to talk about two things. What attributes would you most appreciate in your future boss? Okay? And then how will you become that kind of boss to those that you hire? Okay, so let's take the last 10 minutes. I want you to work on that. When we come back on Friday, we will have a discussion first thing on what you came up with. Okay, and you'll be presenting. So pick a lead. Let's go ahead. Let's see. We've got, what do we do? 5 here, and you 3 work with you 3. Or 6 over here. Okay, and let's put this right down the center here. We got 4 over here. We got 4 over there. So that should do this one. Okay, so.
Yes.